Hi guys out there in YouTube land, Chibi here. Of course, my face starts itching the second I start my video. Whatever. And I have some viewer questions. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. That sounds good. And you know how I am. I'm horrible with grammar and spelling and all that fun stuff, and I don't want to look but so stupid. Gotta love it. But I wanted to answer the questions to the best of my ability, so I'm deciding to just upload a quick video of it. The questions come from Bread and Butter Art on YouTube, and some of them I can answer, some of them I kind of gonna suck at. So the first question is, which BJD doll or dolls are the best for posing? And I have my minifee here up as an example. Personally, when it comes to posing, I really love Fairyland dolls in general. Get this out of the way of my mouth. Fairyland, to me, their joints look the most natural you're really going to get in a BJD, in my opinion. And that includes all of their sizes up to SD. I don't have an SD one as of right this second, but I have seen one in person, and I will hopefully within the next week or two. So. Also, as you can see, of course your legs all turned around. Their knees look about as natural as they get in the BJD world. And there are some companies that have similar jointing systems that look a lot like them, jointing wise. But some specific aesthetics that I'm in love with, the knees and the elbows. I really love the chest joint. I am a stickler for female dolls that have a chest joint that aligns with the breast. But also their posing it just makes, to me, the posing look more natural. Some dolls can pose better than Fairyland dolls in my opinion, but the jointings, unless you cover them with clothes and stuff like that, can start looking really awkward. And to me, it's about aesthetics along with the actual ability to pose. I am getting a long sole girl, which I've heard some pretty cool things about how they look and how they can pose. Like, they have extra things to make you be able to pose like that and stuff. So, I've heard some good things about long sole for SDs. I don't know about any other size for them. So, for posing, it really is what you want to pose them. If you're a photographer, I mean, you're going to be doing a lot more than if you're just someone who prefers to just, you know, have them sitting around, kind of more like I do. I'm not a photographer. But that's kind of personal opinion. If you're willing to go for non-resin dolls, I've heard great things about the Hujo, like, MSD-sized girls. On, you can only get them, I think, from Juggy Spot, eBay, and the actual Hujo site. I've heard some great things about their posing and their ability to hold their poses because of the way their engineering system is. I just don't like any of their faces. If they just come out with a face I would like. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But, okay, so, yeah, that's kind of posing. For me, it's a little bit weird because with my SDs, aesthetics don't mean as much to me. I'm a little less picky for them, so. And also with SDs, you run into the posing problem of straight heavy resin. With SDs, they're heavier, they weigh more, and their joints will take more strain in trying to hold their arm up like that than this really light SD. I mean, this really light MSD. Same thing, like the smaller you get, I think sometimes the better certain dolls pose, depending on their jointing system, just because they have less weight to hold up. So I've kind of given up on perfectly posing SDs because they're going to fall down, they're going to run away from you, and they're going to do crazy stuff just because they become top heavy. Okay, that was a long rambling answer. Sorry about that. The second question is, which ones are most anatomically correct? Yeah, I thought it too. But no, she means, I know I'm picky, but I have noticed that arms are not correct. such as you lift your arm over your head and your elbow is aligned with above your head. Right. Your elbow and forearm are aligned above your head. Really? I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know anything about that. I am not an anatomy stickler in BJDs. I'm actually kind of confused by the question. I'm sorry. And I really don't know who to turn you to answer that question, because I'm not really sure I've ever heard of people talking about that specific answer. But if you want, you can message me again, and I may have one resource for you when it comes to that. So yeah, sorry. And the third and kind of final question is, how would I go about buying a doll from an owner? So secondhand. Secondhand dolls can be found in many different locations, but mainly you find them in forums directly made for SDs, i.e. Dolly Market. Wait, I'm getting that word wrong, aren't I? Dolly something. I know has a marketplace. Den of Angels. I'll go with the ones I can actually think of off the top of my head. Feeling stupid. Yay. Oh, Dolly Market. I was right. Forums. You can find some on DeviantArt, but I've never actually bought any from there, or I don't think any of my sales have come from there either when I've sold my own. There are plenty of people on here on YouTube who have come up with sale threads. Really, you just have to Google search, or not Google search, I'm sorry. Search in the top search bar BJD sale. And people will have lots of things for them for sale, including actual dolls and doll stuff. Then there is eBay. In all cases, but mainly with eBay, you have to be very, very careful with recasters and bogus people. Make sure if you're buying a doll from there and it's used, that the person has some type of something to prove that it's real, be it their paperwork, the original box, stuff like that, especially if you're a new owner and you don't know how to spot recasts. There's a whole long story of how to spot a recast and bootlegs. They do exist. I've talked about recasts before in a video, so you could look at that if you want. I wouldn't be too hugely heavily concerned about it as long as the person has like the original box or paperwork, or the doll comes from a Chinese seller, originally comes from a Chinese company. Those generally are not. I've never found one that's actually recasted that's a Chinese company, so it all kind of depends. The best place that I think personally to buy secondhand is DOA. Because if someone does burn you on DOA, there's feedback threads, there's problems transaction threads, and you know, you can pretty much burn them out of the community if they truly just beast you. But that, it really doesn't happen on DOA as much because people can do that. And also, always, always, always use PayPal. And if you're new and you really don't know how to spot certain things, or if you can't get real feedback for that person, like if you're on DOA, there's a feedback thread and they'll have a bunch of people that say this is a good seller. But if you're new and you don't know any of that, always use the protected version of PayPal where, you know, they have to deal with PayPal fees and stuff like that, because if something goes wrong in those transactions, you can contact PayPal, you can get your money back, and you can, you know, it can in the end come out okay. But when it comes to owners, those are the main ways to go. I think the least safe is probably DeviantArt. There's no protection there except for if you pay through PayPal. In forums, you can really burn someone if they really screw you over, send you a recast, or just don't send you anything at all. And eBay can be good, but can be kind of complicated person who was claiming to be a distributor of the original company, not an actually used doll. But if you have any questions past that, feel free. I'm at 10 minutes, so I gotta go. Feel free to message me, and I will get back to you soon, or I'll make another video kind of explaining more. But thank you for watching. Bye.